Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hey girl, welcome back to my channel, guys. I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, hi, my name is Deborah Pascal Mafubedu, but you can just call me Lay, and that's on period. Today I am doing another BL series review. As you know, I keep them coming. I keep them what? Coming. Today we're doing a review of Bad Buddy the series. Now this series is a really good series. It blew up when it came out, and the main reason I think was because of the guy. One of the guys who was in the series, whose name is OHM, if I say it correctly. But yeah, he's one of the main characters. He is the main character, like basically with the other actor that he's in love with. But yeah, so I think that is the reason why this series ended up blowing up the way it blew up. But it was a really nice series. So this series was released in 2021 and has 12 episodes in total. You can stream it on YouTube via GGM TV. A lot of series that I'm gonna review, like I said, are gonna be from YouTube and mostly are actually from GGM TV. It's a really good production company, and it produces a lot of really good BL series. So this is one of many. So we're gonna get into the review of Bad Buddy the series. Bad Buddy the series focuses on a number of characters, but mainly Pat and Prem. Now, Pat and Prem are from two different families, but one thing that makes them similar is that they are rivals. These families are very much like constantly fighting, and the main reason for their fight or rivalry, I think it was led by the fact that they both own a business that was similar and selling similar stuff. So they always competed when it comes to prices, when it comes to who has the best products, and they stole employees from each other. Like, there was just a lot of chaos going on. The rivalry did not stop there, because it also led into the children. Like, the fact that they constantly compared Pat and Prem was insane. They compared them in academics, they compared them in extramural activities. It was crazy. Like, they literally compared them in everything. The results that they got, their merits, like born, everything was comparison for these two families, because of the fact that one wanted to stand out more than the other. So because this comparison basically flowed into the children also carried their parents' beef without even know what the beef is about. Like, can you imagine? That's commitment. But it makes sense, because like, it's the parents and it's the children. So I guess they were bound to carry the beef of the parents. So Pat and Prem were basically enemies. They did not like each other at all. But this changed when Pat's sister, or what's her name, Pa, got into an sort of like an accident. So what happened is that she was riding her bicycle. I think she was a few years younger than Pat and Prem, and at the time Pat and Prem were 12 years old. So the sister was riding a bicycle, and she basically went into the lake by mistake, like accidentally went into the lake. And Prem saw that Pat's sister like went into the lake. So basically he tried his best to like save her and like get her out. And because of this, Pat and Prem's relationship sort of like changed, and we saw them moving from enemies to more like frenemies. You get what I'm saying? Like, they sort of like, oh, I see you, like, you're my homie, but still our families are fighting, so I still don't like you ish. Yeah, but that situation was, however, not the only situation that led to the two becoming closer to each other, because in the 9th grade we saw Pat and Prem being put together into a music band. So like, now they were forced to interact with each other and know each other more. And I think as the story ends, we see that Pat was always looking at Prem, and Prem was also looking at Pat. So they sort of created a bond within each other, but they did not necessarily know they had a bond, because the fact that they did not like each other, since their parents did not like each other. But there was something that was drawing them towards each other, and I think that's what led to the love interest between the two of them, because they started developing feelings from high school, right? So they eventually leave high school and they go to university, and this is where we see most of the action happen between the two of them, because in high school I think a few things happened, including the one I mentioned. So in varsities where yeah, a lot happened and they ended up being here together, you know what I mean? um so basically they went to university after 4 years of being in high school, and when they were in varsity, Pat ended up becoming the first president of the Faculty of Engineering, and then Pran became the president or the class president of the Faculty of and then Pran became the president of the class of architecture. I can't say that word properly, like my lips does not allow me, okay? But he became the president of his faculty, and Pat also became the president of his faculty. And this is where things went crazy, okay? So we have Pat, who is stubborn, who is playful, who is mischievous, like Pet. And then we have Pren, who is more like of a friendly guy. He's well behaved, he's smart, he's well groomed, he's got it all. He's in line about everything. So basically, because their faculties already were rivals, I feel like rivalry was just a part of their life. The fact that they were born into a family of rivalry and now they're in faculties that are rivaling with each other, fighting with each other. Rivalry has always been a part of their lives. So now we see them once again fighting, and now they're fighting in terms of their faculty. But Pat's sister comes in and says, no, no, Pat, oh my god. No, Pat, you should not fight with Pran, because if you remember correctly, way back, I was actually helped by Pran. I fell into the lake or drove into the lake with my bicycle. I was actually helped by Pran. So I don't see a need for you to do what you want to do to Pran, right? So Pat thinks it over and said, you're actually right. Like, let's actually not be a mean person to this person. So Pat ends up going to Pran and saying, hey, so I think because of XYZ, can we form a union so that our faculty could stop fighting? Pran is like, I don't like fighting anyway, so let's do it. So they team up, they constantly tell each other information that will lead their faculty to not fight. So let's say, for instance, if let's say the Faculty of Engineering, the people, like the, I don't want to say prefects because it's a university, but I'll just use them as an example. So the prefects of the Faculty of Engineering, who were mainly Pat's friends, when they went somewhere, Pat would tell Pran. So if, let's say, Pat's group of friends were there and they're under the Faculty of Architecture, they would move to a different place, and then the Faculty of Engineering would move to that place. So that's how they try to maneuver the situation so that they don't end up fighting, right? So that kind of worked out for them, and because of this, they constantly had to interact with each other more, and they grew a liking to one another more than they could ever expect. So this therefore led to them being in a relationship, and they tried to keep it as secret as possible because, as we remember, their families are rivals, so they don't want them interacting with each other at all. And mind you, they're both boys and then they end up in a relationship. So imagine how they're gonna feel. They try their best to hide the relationship from their parents, but eventually the relationship comes out, and we find them having to come up with a solution to this because they see that it's not gonna work out. Like, our families hate each other, and despite however we want to portray the situation to them, they will never understand. So they went on a trip with their group of friends, and when they came back, they decided to coin a plan to tell their families that they actually have broken up. And in secret, they were actually still dating, and we see them interacting with one another, like the one sending the other messages, their houses were very close to each other, so their rooms were also close to each other. They used this that cup thing where you put a rope or something to connect to the other cup, and then you can listen to the next person on the other side. They used that system to talk to each other, as they didn't want to shout when they spoke to each other since they were close to each other. And they also, I think, did not want to use their cell phones. I can't really remember that part, but I remember them using that cup system to talk to each other, which was so cute. So they managed to trick their families into believing that they actually broke up until they were meeting in secrecy and that helped them maintain their relationship until graduation from their university, right? So they graduated from university, and after graduating from university, Pat stayed behind in Thailand and helped with the family business that his father started, right? And then Pran actually went to Singapore to pursue a career in architecture. So we see them still maintain that relationship. They sort of did it as a long distance relationship in order to keep the relationship going. After some time, Pat and Pran were supposed to go to their high school reunion, and this is where we got to see them finally seeing each other again. At the high school reunion, I don't know what the writers or the director was feeling, but they sort of made them act like they don't talk to each other anymore. Like they basically not familiar with each other, and they basically no longer in a relationship, which was very heartbreaking for us. We're like, hey bro, we ended up them being in a long distance relationship. What actually happened, right? And this was not the case. Like it wasn't the case at all. We saw them actually, they were still doing their discreet thing because they didn't want people to know that they're still in a relationship. So they were kind of deceiving us in some way. But hey, we got deceived and we were heartbroken. That's not the tea. The tea is they're still together and they still love each other wholeheartedly. But they still love each other wholeheartedly and still talk. And we also see them going on a date with Pat. Is it Pat? Pa and Ink. So Pa and Ink are a supporting couple to this relationship of Pat and Pran. I will talk about them slightly. I don't know. I don't remember much about them, but I remember having glimpses of them here and there in the series. Pa and Ink were, however, not the only ones that knew about the relationship between Pran and Pat, because we have Con and Y, who are very close friends of Pat and Pran, and they also knew about this relationship and were very supportive of it. The only people that were not supportive, unfortunately, were the parents, and that's mainly because of the rivalry between the two of them. Because I remember a scene where I think that the dad, Pran's dad, was actually supportive of Pran in the relationship between Pat. It's either Pran's mom. I can't really remember which one of the two, but they were supportive of the relationship between the two. But because of the rivalry between the two families, they end up telling them that this cannot go on as they wanted to go on. So they ended up pretending that they broke up just to deceive the families, right? When it comes to Pa and Ink, there were glimpses of them being shown together, but basically Ink had an interest in Pa, and I think Ink was familiar with Pat, who's Pa's sister. And I don't know, at the beginning, I thought they were just friends and it showed up with a bit of a friendship. But we later learned that actually Ink had a huge crush on Pa, and Pa also had an interest in Ink. So that's how they ended up being together as well. And they'll go on double dates with the boys, basically Pat and Pran, and it was so cute. I love the fact that we had a happy ending. Like I said, there's only one series that ended on a bad note for me, and I was just so shook and I was upset and I wanted to cry and I wanted to throw a fit. But yeah, I'll get into it soon. I will do its review as well. I absolutely love that series. Despite that, it was a really good series. So that's all I have when it comes to Bad Buddies series. It was a really good series. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, it had people going crazy, and I think it's mainly because of Pat. Because one thing about BL series, they will sell you the muscles, the body, everything. They will sell it to you, okay? So that's one thing that I think made people go crazy, but it was a really good series, as I said. And yeah, that's all when it comes to Bad Buddy, the series. I hope you enjoyed this review as much as I enjoyed doing it for you guys. And I hope you come back for my next BL review. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn on the post notification bell so you can get a notification every time I post. But yeah, other than that, that's all for me. That's all for me on this beautiful day. I hope to see you guys again in my next BL review. Bye.